Welcome to the Get Digital Marketing Results podcast, where we give you information and actionable tips to grow your organization.
Hi, I'm Bob Clark.
And I'm Donna Body. We're with Delos Inc., and we make the web work for you. In today's Tech News Tuesday episode, we're talking about getting ready for marketing in 2021. And our tune-up for 2021 program about foundational stuff, things that you really need to have in place in order to have a successful digital marketing plan.
One of the most important things that we've talked about already is, do you have the keys to your web presence? And we've talked about this a number of times before, and exactly what does that mean? Like, do you know who owns your domain name? Do you know when it expires? Do you know where your domain is located? Where's your mail service? And how do you have access to it? Where's your website hosted? These are some of the things we talked about in our first part of the tune-up.
Yeah, we see that people get tripped up by this a lot of times, that not having ready access to that information. I tell people you should treat your domain name like your bank account and understand how to access it and everything about it, because it is your online front door. And one of the ways that people find your online front door is by being on the map. It's so important that you claim your Google My Business listing and that you also really work that listing. The more information you provide to Google, the better off you're going to come up in search. And they've added some new features, like you could put a COVID-19 status update to tell people how you're operating at this point in time, as consumers really are relying a lot more on finding online information. It's to your benefit to really make sure that you have claimed and work your Google My Business listing. And by the way, it is free, and Google does not call you to tell you that your listing is having a problem. That's a scam.
So the other step in our basics for tune-up was talking about measuring what you're doing. Are you getting the results from what you're doing on the web?
Yes, if you're not really measuring, how do you know if it's working?
You want to make sure your website is using Google Analytics and that you have access to it.
Yeah, Google Analytics provides a lot of really good information. It tells you how long people are visiting, how people are finding you, where they're coming from. Is it coming from social media? Is it coming from search? Is it coming from paid advertising? What pages people go to most frequently, and how long people are sending on your site. There's a wealth of information there that can really inform your content strategy. And in a companion product to that from Google, and again, these are free Google products, is Google Search Console. This tells you what queries you are showing up for in Google, and also identifies any problems with your site. Like if there's mobile usability issues or speed issues, they'll flag it for you and give you a heads up on that. So those are two really good tools that you should be using and you should have access to, so that you can evaluate whether or not your marketing efforts are working. And another thing we talked about this week is a new thing from Google called Google Analytics 4. And it is an upgrade to the analytics platform, which really needs to run alongside your current analytics. So if you didn't have analytics and you set it up today, you're automatically getting a Google Analytics 4 account. But if you are currently using analytics, you'll want to set up a Google Analytics 4 property to run in conjunction with that. And there's an upgrade path that you can do on the site, but the point being that you'll run both of them. You don't have to worry too much right now about the differences in the reporting. The important thing is to set up a property so it starts collecting data, because your historical data does not go over there.
That's it for today's episode. Don't forget to put these foundational elements in place to have successful marketing efforts. You can find a link and a transcript of today's podcast at delosinc.com/163. You can also find a link to a sign-up form, which is delosinc.com/tuneup2021, where you'll be able to see all the information we've talked about so far. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on our actionable digital marketing tips to grow your organization.